They were blessed with 3 children, which is Mark, me, Jennifer, and Jefferson. Delphine worked in Japan as a demolisher in 1990 before returning to the Philippines in 1992, where he continued to support his family by selling rice in the public market. Delphine was a devoted and loving husband, a dedicated father, a proud grandfather, and a supportive brother. He worked tirelessly to support his family, always putting their needs above his own. He was a dedicated provider, a selfless man, and a loving soul whose legacy of love, commitment, and sacrifice will live on forever through his family and be passed down to future generations. As a grandfather, or lolo, he cherished every moment spent with his grandchildren, always spoiling them with love, joy, and affection. His faith was the foundation of his life. Delphine was a God-fearing man who shared God's word, often posting prayers and Bible verses on Facebook and messaging friends to inspire them. He kept God at the center of his life and his family, guiding his actions and decisions. Delphine trusted in God's plan and lived with faith. He always watched over his family, lifting them in prayer and trusting in God's protection and grace.
Good evening. My name is Jeff, one of his youngest son. His faith was the foundation of his life. His kindness and strong faith were shown in everything he did, always striving to help and encourage those around him. His deep faith gave him strength during challenges and guided him to be kind, generous, and compassionate. Delphine was a generous man, always helping people back home in the Philippines. His kindness left a lasting impact on many, showing his love for others and his desire to help. Delphine is deeply missed and lovingly remembered by his beloved wife, my mom, Guillermo, his children, Mark, John, Jennifer, and Jefferson. In-laws, Judel, Mike, and Bianca. His siblings, Auntie Adele, Uncle Beer, Auntie Terry, Uncle Willie, Auntie Sheila, Uncle June, and Uncle Alvin. And his cherished grandchildren, Bea, Josh, Sophia, Mila, Mark Jr., Ziki, Mia, Micah, and Miles. He is also fondly remembered by many nieces, nephews, extended family, and friends whose he touched with his kindness and humor. His memory will live forever, live in the hearts of his family and friends, inspiring them to live with the faith, kindness, and devotion. His legacy will continue to live on, guiding and inspiring all who knew him. May his soul rest in peace, eternally in the loving arms of God, where he will find comfort and everlasting peace. Okay, I'll start the arbitrary. Audiology. This is my first public speaking in front of everyone. Again, good evening everyone. My name is Jeff, his youngest son. I have a lots of memories with my dad, but I have chosen a few to share with you. Daddy, who was known as Michael Jackson, or as I call him, Daddy Dubster Tommy, because he looks like the guy on 90 Days Fiancé whose name is Tommy. Dodo Duni, Jeff, Jeff. Yan ang laging sinasabi sa akin, ng daddy ko tuwing nakikita niya akong dumedede kay mama. I'll speak Tagalog 2 seconds, express myself better. Di, natatandaan ko, nung nagta-tricycle tayo, namamasada tayo, lagi ako nakaakas sa likod niya. Pero nagtataka ako, di, kasi yung pasero natin palaging yun at isa lang. Joke aside. Tapos di, nung nagbibenta ka ng bigas, lagi akong sumasama sa'yo. Pag nakabenta ka, di, you always buy me the car. Or yung Tamiya, yung rate pang race. Di doon ko nararamdaman na nire-reward mo ako. Pag nakakabenta ka. Di, kung natatandaan mo, nawala ako sa SM. Naglalaro ako sa arcade habang nagbibingo ka. Pagbalik ko sa bingo, wala ka na. Nag-iikot-ikot ako, di kita mahanap. Hanggang sa nag-decide na ako umuwi kasi akala ko iniwan mo na ako. Naglakad ako ng 5 kilometers from SM Pampanga to Mexico. I was like 6 years old. Way back then. Inanap mo ako ng inanap hanggang sa nagsarado na ang SM. At di ka tumigil sa kakahanap. Hanggang tumawag sa sanitary at sabi nakauwi na ako. Doon di nabuhay ang kanya. Madaming beses po kasi ako nawala ng bata. Tapos nung nawala naman ako sa Pandakakit, mga 6 hours na ako hindi nakikita. Gabi na, hinahanap pa din ako. At nung sinabihan kanila, nawawala ako, worry ka. Sabi mo, uuwi ka ng Pilipinas. Kagad pag hindi ako nakita dito. Di, ganun din ang pakiramdam ko ngayon. Para kang nawala at lagi kitang hinahanap. Pero hindi kita mahanap eh. Yung dati ako ang hinahanap mo pag nawawala pero ngayon hindi ikaw na hinahanap. Kahit sa panaginip ko lang sana hindi magpakita ka. Magpakita ka. I'm nervous. Si Daddy hindi nagkulang sa amin nung nasa Pinas pa kami at siyang nasa US. Lagi niya kami tinatawagan every Sunday. 12 noon. He never missed a Sunday call. Lagi kami magkakapatid. Nagunahan at mag-aaway para lang makausap niya. Kwentuhan, tawanan, at chismisan. At pag may uuwi siyang kapatid, lagi niya kami pinapadala ng pasalubong. Tapos laging may message dun, yung pasalubong niya, chocolate, Pringles, at kanyang picture. Lagi niyang sinusulat dun, tipid-tipid lang, o ubus-ubus biyaya, bukas na katulala. Tapos sa dulo ng kanyang message pa, laging may Dodo Dune, Jack, Jack. Yun ang laging nang sinasabi. Kaya yung pagkain na pinapadala, tinitipid talaga namin. Yung natutunan ko doon, di, pinaramdam mo sa amin kung paano maging wise ka sa buhay. Kasi when it comes to challenges, family mo lang o sarili mo lang talaga ang tutulong sa'yo. Which is true. Tapos di kami laging looking forward sa bakasyon mo. Nagka-countdown kami buwan-buwan. Kasi pag nagbabakasyon ka, doon lang namin natitikman ang masarap na buhay. Buhay mayaman. Lagi mo kaming dinadala sa masasarap na restaurant. Ginagala. Binibili ng magagandang damit. Hindi niya pinaramdam sa amin yung buhay pala sa amin kaya sobrang hirap. Akala namin pinupulot lang niya yung pera. Doon. Tapos di pag malapit ka na ulit bumalik sa Amerika, doon na yung palagi kami ngiiyak. Lagi namin tinatanong, kailangan ka ulit babalik. Kasi gano'n na yung pakaramdam ngayon, di. Pag-ihapit ka na namin sa airport, iyak kami ng iyak. Tapos kakanta mo pa kami ng kahit kailan. Kahit kailan, di kita iiwan. Bakit mo naman kami iniwan ka kayo? Pero ngayon di sobrang sakit. Kasi hindi ka namin sa airport ihatid. Sobrang malit mo na. Masakit kasi kung dati isang taon lang kami naghahantay. Ngayon lang kami naghahantay. Di, tatandaan mo nung first interview ko. Sa McDonald's, ikaw ang kasama ko. Kasi basic lang yung English ko, as you can tell. Nasa likod ko siya. Sabi ko, di kunwari may kausap ka. Sabi nung nag-interview sa akin, tell me about yourself. Tapos gabi na sa likod ko. Kunwari may kausap siya. Sabi niya, yes. Sabihin mo yung pangalan mo, edad mo. At nung hindi ko natanggap doon, hindi sabi mo, okay lang yan. Marami pang opportunity para sa iyo. Pinakain mo ko. At doon ko naramdaman ang support mo sa akin, di. Maliit man o malaki. Di, meron tayong hindi pagkakaintindihan. Pero yung pagmamahal ko sa iyo hindi nagbabago. Palagi ako nag-worry pag tatawag ka na na-aksidente ka or need ka dalhin sa ER. Last na pala yung pagdala ko sa ER sa iyo. Last na pala yun. Tatandaan mo di kung paano ako uminit ang red light. Nagpatakbo ng 100 miles per hour. Kasi di kita kaya makita nasasaktan. Umaaray ka sa sakit di. Masakit din sa akin. Nakikita ka nasasaktan sa sakit. I did my best di. Lagi ko nga sinasabi sa iyo. Kaya ako mabinit ang red light at nagpatakbo ng mabilis para gumaling ka. Tapos di, sobrang gumawa ang mundo ko. Nang sinabi na nila yung sakit mo. Di ko matanggap eh. Kahit sana man lang nagpagaling siya. Nasa nursing home ka di. Tapos palagi ka namin pupuntahan. Kaalagaan. Yung sinabi ko sa'yo di, pinangako ko sa'yo paglabas at paggaling mo. Ako naman ang babawi sa'yo. Tapos, nung nag-announce ka ng patay din, hindi ko pa din matanggap. Madaming tanong sa utak ko. Bakit? Bakit sa'yo nangyari? Bakit ka namatay? Gusto ko nga manabak na nag-treat sa'yo, di kung pwede lang. Pero di, pinakamasakit. Yung pinatay na nila yung ventilator. Kasi sa TV ko lang nakikita yun. Hindi ko ma-imagine na maranasan ko sa totoong buhay mo. Mahal na mahal kita, Di. We've been with you through your struggles and down. We, your family, have never left your side, Di. Actions speak louder than words. Alam mo yan, Di. Mahal na mahal ka namin lahat at lalo na si mama at mga kapatid ko. At yung mga kapatid mo, Di. Di. You will never ever be forgotten. Why? You know why, Di? Nakikita mo yung mga apo mo, Di. Si Mia, si Micah, yung kamukha mo, at si Miles. Palagi kitang ipagmamalaki at ipagyayabang na gaano ka nagtrabaho para lang ma-provide ang needs namin. Paano mo kami tanaguyod lahat kung paano mo kami ginaya. I remember when I went to church right after Father's Day. The priest preached, "Love your father while he is still alive. Kiss him, hug him, and take them to a nice restaurant. Enjoy every single moment with him." Kasi pag one day wala na sila, doon ka lang magsisisi. Napaisip ako that time, Di, pero hindi nag-reflect sa akin. Pero ngayon, Di, ang message ni Father, Di, totoo. At ang sakit. Nag-reflect na sa akin lahat. Sobrang sakit. Madami akong pagkukulang, yes, I admit. Di ko naibigay ang oras sa'yo, Di, na inihingi mo sa akin at sa mga apo mo. So to those who are here, if you still love your dad, consider yourself as lucky. Kiss them, hug them, and enjoy every single moment with them. Kasi ako, wala na akong daddy makikiss, mayayakap, at mapagsasabihan ng mga problema ko at ang magtatanggol sa akin. At Di, ang uling nabili mo na mag-ayos kami. Ayos kami magkakapatid, Di, nangyari na. At si Mama, lagi mong inahabilin sa amin, Di, huwag ka na mag-alala. As a responsible father, a family man, and a man of the word, on my part, I and my siblings will do our best to take care, Mama. I never miss a day calling my mom to check on her. Kung paano ko mamahalin ang mga anak ko, Di, ganun ko din mamahalin si Mama. Higit pa. Di, I will promise you this. I'll keep thriving and make you proud of me. So that one day you will look down from heaven with your deceased family and friends and tell them, "That's my son. That's my son." Di, I will miss our talks, kwentuhan, chismisan through in-person or video call. I'm grateful for the love and wisdom you shared with me, Di. Goodbye, Di. Mahal na mahal kita. Your memory will live on my heart forever. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Jennifer. I am the second in the family. And I would like to thank everyone who's here with us to celebrate my dad's life. It means so much to us. We really appreciate that you guys are here. So, yeah, I am the second in the family. And I am the only daughter of Michael and Lerma, which is why I grew up being a daddy's girl. He called me Poink or Point Point, but if I did not respond to him when he called me, he would call me Poink with his pouty lips. Growing up with my dad, he was very protective and strict with me. He always kept an eye on me. But yeah, losing my dad has been the hardest and most painful experience of my life. It's truly heartbreaking. With my dad, he was my hero, my rock, my best ally, the person who always listened to me, and the person who was always there when I needed someone the most. Life lately has never been easy, and it feels incomplete. It feels empty. A lot has changed since he was gone. We used to talk, we always talk on group video calls, and he was always the first one to answer every time I called. Because he worked as a security guard, he would show us his work, including how he patrolled around his workplace and interacted with his co-workers. Every time I posted something on Facebook, he was always the first one to like and comment, especially when it was about my son Ziki. Being a daddy's girl, I was always with him when I was young. I would cry when he wasn't around. He was my fashion designer. He would dress me up like an old-fashioned lady or like a boy back in the day when I was a kid. So back in the day, we used to sell rice in the public market. He would make me stay with him also in the store, and if a customer bought a sack of rice, I would sit on top of the sack of rice while he pushed the trolley to deliver the sack of rice to the customer's vehicle. Afterward, he would spoil me with comics. I can honestly say he spoiled me. Before, I would always ask my mom and my dad how they met in Kuwait. My mom used to work at Pizza Hut as a receptionist. When my dad came to eat there the first time, he couldn't stop staring at her. He came back the next day and asked her, "When is your day off?" She told him, "Every Tuesday." And he said, "Let's meet up at the church at 5 p.m. on your day off." They met up and afterward, they had a dinner at the SAS Hotel where my dad worked there. My dad used to work. There, he confessed his feelings, telling her he loved her, and I was single and I wanted to marry you. Instead of giving flowers or chocolates, my dad gave her 3 dresses, which was his way of saying, "I love you." He would also bring potatoes, onions, and chicken as gifts. To prove he was serious about his intentions, my dad brought his uncle named Jess Medina to talk to my mom and confirm he was single. He even wrote a beautiful letter to my grandma, which is my mom's mother, in a poetic style, which was a heartful request for permission to court my mom. The letter said, "Ako po, Delphine Mateo. Makatukdang ko po kay Mexico, Pampanga. Agya ngayon po kukutang, ketang peguludan kong penoknangan, San Carlos, Mexico, Pampanga. Baintawa ko pong totoo at masanting ko pong pamilya. Adyang pangutang niyo po, king siping mi bale, sisiklod ko pong adwang gamat kaya kayo." Yeah, he wrote that letter to prove his real intention to my mom. So my mom got pregnant with Makmak, my eldest brother, and 6 months later, they got married. But every time I asked my dad, if the story was true, he would joke around and say it wasn't true. And he would say that my mom made him take sleeping pills, and when he woke up, he was naked. Yeah. So, 13 years ago, we used to work together. My dad was very strict and protective of me. Whenever a guy tried to talk to me, he would give them a stern look like that. And he would point to his neck like this, as if saying, "Don't mess with my daughter." The guys then loved to joke around with him, and they would also call him Papa. "Hi, Papa," and he would respond, "What do you mean, Papa? Papa, papatayin kita." That's what he would say. They would laugh, but they always knew he was serious when it came to me. He was always watching over me because I was his only daughter. He loved his family, and our family meant everything to him. He would do anything my mom asked. He would do anything my mom asked without getting mad. He brought joy and laughter to the family, always telling jokes and keeping us entertained. And he was the Michael Jackson of the Mateo family, always bringing joy to the parties with his dance move. Above all, he also had a deep faith in God. He believed in doing what was right, not just for us, but in honoring God through his actions and the love for his family. My dad was a true gentleman. He would never let me or my mom carry anything. He always insisted on carrying it himself. And he always made sure to help me out with my son Zeke whenever I needed it. Some people might have thought he was stingy with money, but the truth was, every time we ate out, he was always the first one paying. He made sure to give us money for every celebration as present. And after he passed, a lot of people reached out and shared how good my dad was. They called us telling about his kindness and how he helped others, sending money to those in need without hesitation. Yeah, so he was doing it secretly. So we were shocked when we find out how generous he was. So, Daddy, thank you for being the best dad to us, the best husband to Mama, and the best lolo to your apo. Thank you for raising us and taking good care of us. Thank you for being the best provider, even though you were by yourself, working hard here. You made so many sacrifices just to give the best possible life you could do to ensure we had everything we needed. When I had problems, you were always there to talk, listen, and give advices to us. Thank you for everything you've done, and I'm forever grateful for you. Dad, I will miss our daily video calls. I will miss hearing your voice. I will miss those times when you'd always bother me and ask me why you couldn't access your poker online, or why the app for your work wasn't working. You would just keep bothering me and bugging me. And also, I would miss our bonding moments. And I miss when we ate out together as family, or sometimes whenever you want. I miss seeing how you always lift your dumbbells, flexing your muscles, and showing us how macho you were. I will miss everything about you. Daddy, I miss you so much. I hope you'll visit me in my dream, as that's the only place I can see you again. And just by looking on the beautiful memories we shared also. Daddy, I know how much you love your grandson, Ziki. He will miss you a lot. Every time he sees my son there, he will always carry him and play with him. And when Ziki will grow up, I will tell him how much his Lolo loved him and how amazing and cool his Lolo was. I remember my son's first word was Lolo. You were so happy, Daddy, and you were so proud when you heard him say it. We were in the hospital at the last moments of his life. You showed your love to him. While we were inside the room, the light in his room blinked, and Ziki was so happy. We all knew that time that you were playing with him. Daddy, don't worry about Mom. One of your last wishes was for us to watch out for her and take care of her. And we promise to honor that. We will ensure she's always okay, showing her the same love and care you always gave. We will always stay in good terms with one another, united as family, just as you wanted. My dad, Michael, he was a brave man. A strong man, a tough guy, and he never let anyone step down on him. He always fought for himself and for our family. He was a fighter, and he fought until the last moment of his life. But now I know that my dad is in a better place with our dear God. God has a plan and we must trust in His will. His unwavering faith in God guided him throughout his life, giving him strength during the toughest battles. I take comfort in knowing that he is resting in God's loving arms, surrounded by eternal peace. We will continue to live your legacy. There are no goodbyes, Daddy, because I know we will meet again. I love you so much, Daddy.
Believing family and friends, I'm Mark, eldest son, adopted. To be honest, I didn't prepare for this because every time I try to write down the eulogy, well, the hardest. So, if my brother speak Tagalog, my sister speak English, I speak Kapampangan. So, tayo napupuan ng Chicken Pilipinas. Magandagay po audience. Kaya dapat, mag-exercise siya. Nagising na po mga dito. Pasalamat siya kaya kung Ginoo for another chance and opportunity in life. Yung kada po mag-exercises ito nga, bakit na po ba makagising 12? Hindi kasi yan eh. He always imitate Bruce Lee po kung mag-shadow boxing niya. And exercise. And bagay po ako mga Dia, mga Lucia. And ngayon po kalinguan. Ito po ba Yan po ba kalimuan? Kista kayo ang puking kalimuan. Ako po, si Bato po puking. Kabatin po kapag itong pay na. Samasan ako, nabasan na po yung ulas. Ano? Ito ang malimla. And then every time after school, I was in elementary. And my classmate, they know him. Yes. Lalo din po maraming biasa magkiabi kakang ko. Lagi yang Magyo, parang kaklase ko. Ngawas daw, parang Magyo! And ako din po pare, nagana-gana po itong balik kayo muli. Lagi lang mag-high five kayo. Kaya gana-gana. Tatap po yawan ng mga gana-gana ang lugod po. Karang kapag po kaya kami po. Sakit dada, likod mo kami pero lagi mo sabihin po kung mag-live ka sa Facebook. It's not a good life. See you later, alligator. Tsaka, amis ko yung punta mag-group chat ka, hindi ako muna sa lagot. At saka po yung pinakatol ko yung bagay ko kasi nagpumalo mo pinatol yan. Kanya po na kaya hindi pa po makawakon. Kasi yan kaya po, akalimuan nagpindutan yung end ko. Same thing when it goes on live to on Facebook na alam ko ba ang pagdan nag-atulog kaya ko ito pa namin sa mga tatang ko gana ituro na po wala mga tatang ko at yung ano yan po status yung ito mga tao pero teenage dyan po dyan yung masakit ito. Yung lalo mas well. Bayo po meron kayong training for boot camp before I left. He's the one that dropped me at the med processing station. And then he told me that we can do it. Then after a week of training and training, they gave us a 10-minute phone call to make a phone call to our loved ones. And I remember the first person I called was my dad. As soon as I heard his voice, my tears, my tears started falling. And I told him, Dad, pagbalik na ako yung word, ako nag-view ako. And then he told me, you can do it, son. I believe in you. If others can do it, you can. He's the one always pushing me to be the better version of myself and better than my best. He always inspired and motivated me and keep pushing me even at my lowest. Dada, masaya na ko. Ano ko naman? Ano yung napagpulan mali mo? I-pagpulan ko. Unagot yung kabila na tayong kirong-kirang. At yung ano pa man, nagkamali kayong kirang hindi ka kapatid. Kung ano yung kapatid mo, alahin mo yan. He will stay in the middle. And dia pun tak peacekeeper ni sabihan ng paguran mo patawaran mo yang agad magkamali, which is true naman. Tao na if I would get one more shot to talk to him, Caxton, I would do everything or anything just to talk to him again. Anak segala he was my go-to guy for everything, for anything. He was the one that inspired me, taught me how to be a strong man. It's really hard. It's really painful. But we know you're in a good place. No more pain, Daddy. But yeah. So if your parents still around, it's like my sibling said, love them, cherish them, enjoy every moment. You never know one day. Again, on my dad's behalf, I want to thank you all for being here in celebration of my beloved father, Delphi Mateo. And it means a lot to us, from my mom, my siblings, and our extended family. We're opening the door for who want to share stories or memories with my dad.